All right. We are rolling. Welcome to episode 11. We got a special guest with us. But before we get started, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I want to thank you guys for subscribing. I want to thank you guys for following the Instagram page and subscribing to the YouTube channel. So we have a special guest with us, the myth, the legend. It's everything. I want I appreciate you coming on here, Matthew McGinley. Um, Longtime neighbor of mine, one of my good friends. What's going on, man?
What's going on? You
Yeah,
remembered, back in the presentation days, the edification.
yeah. Is that Bema talk?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man. We have a lot to cover today. I want to get into sports. I want to get into lifting. I want to get into you becoming a vegan. So I want to get into all that. So, like I said, I'm happy that you're here. I appreciate you for joining me. I know it's 9:30, but hey, you made it on the show. So welcome. And I was actually thinking about when I did my first episode, I was like, yo, I wonder why I didn't get Matt McGinley to do my first episode. Because I feel like you were the perfect person to do it with since we've been neighbors for so long. And you actually helped me a lot as far as lifting and everything. So I appreciate you for helping me out with all that shit too. So
Yeah, of course, it's no problem. That's fine with me. I mean, I'm always down to get on and talk.
good. All right, so like I said, we have a lot to talk about. So I'm gonna start off with this. So let's start off with sports, and then we might segue ourselves in back into sports at the very end because I have a few questions I want to ask you on who would you rather take, but we'll get into that later.
I already know one of
So
them.
uh,
Moss or TO.
yeah, this time we have it actually on like record. So, but before any of that, so the Eagles. Let's start with the Eagles. Okay, let's
Yeah.
start with the Eagles. So, how do you feel about the Saquon signing? Do you
Uh,
think? Go ahead.
the Eagles are a very pro analytics team. Like they go and hire people from like financial firms to look for market inefficiencies. They're really smart. Like right now, the franchise tag for a running back is somewhere like $11.5 million per year. And that's the average of the top five running backs at the position. So $11.5 million is very low. Like Darnell Mooney, do you know who Darnell Mooney is?
No.
He just signed with the Atlanta Falcons. He's like a wide receiver.
Yeah.
$13 million a year. Gabe Davis just signed with the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Bills fans don't like him. $13 million a year. So Saquon is making less than guys who are like borderline starting wide receivers. And so
Yeah.
I think what the Eagles have realized is that the running back position has become so undervalued relative to like its actual value
Yeah.
that paying a running back is totally fine. Um, because there's no world where any football fan would acknowledge that they would rather have Darnell Mooney over Saquon Barkley to win a football game in their careers.
Right.
So I think it's a really smart move.
Okay. And then like, and I understand like they also got rid of Swift. So, what is your take on that?
I was a big fan of DeAndre Swift. He can
Well, that's
catch
what
the
I'm.
ball. He's
Yeah.
very talented, but I think Saquon offers a dimension that Swift really can't. Like Saquon is like 230 pounds,
Yeah.
and Swift is like
I saw him like squatting
205.
like 600 pounds or something like that. Or he can
Yeah,
squat 600. Yeah, something
yeah.
crazy.
There's videos of him box squatting like 585 real easy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's a beast.
Now, does that
He
all comes down to him being healthy as well? Because I understand like his record of being injured is kind of high.
Both him and DeAndre Swift over like the last 3 years have missed the same amount of time.
Yeah.
And I mean, really kind of, if you remember, he had a high ankle sprain that he stepped on like one of his own pliers.
Yeah.
That was like such a freak accident. And then the torn ACL, in today's NFL with the surgery advancements we have today, the torn ACL used to be a death sentence back in like the early 2000s, back when, when we were playing Madden.
Yeah,
Guys did
yeah.
not get better from that. In today's
Look
NFL,
at Aaron Rodgers.
yeah. In today's NFL though, people come back from torn ACLs, so it's not too much of a worry.
Gotcha. And then I understand. Eagles, they wind up losing Jason Kelsey, and the tush push. What is your take on that as far as losing Jason Kelsey? You think the tush push would still be like effective, or not
Um,
as effective?
if you watch where Jalen Hurts likes to run when we do the tush push, it's primarily behind like Landon Dickerson and
Yeah,
Jordan Mailata, who are our left guard and left tackle.
right.
So the center definitely has influence. But I would feel like the Eagles have a really good strategy for how to run the play. That yeah, while Kelsey's graded, I think Cam Jurgens will be able to do just fine. And then uh, Dickerson and Mailata are still there, and those guys are huge. Mailata is 6'8", 365 pounds, and Landon Dickerson's like 6'6", 340. Those they are road graders. Like that's
Gotcha.
part of the magic behind the tush push. Honestly, like the,
Gotcha.
the the player in the back pushing
Yeah.
him is doing close to nothing. The
Gotcha.
center on that play is doing something, but not to the extent that what it's really Landon Dickerson and Mailata that make that play big time.
Gotcha. Did you see did you see Jason Kelsey on WrestleMania? WrestleMania? Was it WrestleMania? I think it was
Yeah,
WrestleMania.
him and Lane Johnson,
Yeah,
they hit the
yeah.
guy, and then Lane was like gonna smack him with a chair and then didn't. And then he like goes to like high five Kelsey, and Kelsey's not paying attention, and Lane's just
Yeah.
like really awkwardly there. Yeah,
Yeah,
I saw
yeah,
the clips.
yeah.
Um, actually, what was cool too is uh Chris, the vocalist from Motionless in White, he did one of
Yeah.
the he was there in person performing.
Oh,
He's
shit,
from
really?
Yeah, he's from Scranton, so like, it was at Lincoln Financial Field in Philly.
Yeah,
So a lot of like Philly connections, obviously, but cool to
yeah,
see Motionless in White there.
yeah. That does sound pretty dope.
Fred or
Alright. Go ahead.
Spencer and Jack Carr, they would
Yeah.
go to like Warp Tour, and they would see like this tall, nerdy looking dude who was real shy at the back of like all the Warp Tour events, and they said like he would almost get like bullied. It was Chris from Motionless in White. So they're so
That's
they're like
nuts.
cracking up that he's like the king of metal right now, or like
Yeah,
one of them. And like, yeah, he's not a shy guy when he's performing.
yeah, that's nuts. Have you ever seen him like perform? 'Cause
No.
okay, 'cause I saw you went to, I think it might have been Connor's, concert, I think. I don't know, this was, like, last year. I saw you
Yeah.
posted on, like, Instagram or maybe Snapchat. I'm not 100% sure.
In September, Connor played in Philly, and they played with Bad Omens. So I got to see
Oh, okay,
them,
yeah.
Bad Omens.
Okay.
And years ago, I go like basically once a year
Yeah.
to whatever event Connor has like around Philly. So I saw Alpha Wolf, who just released an album. Era just released their album. Invent Animate, Thornhill, which is really good. You would probably like Thornhill, actually. I don't know if I've shown you them.
Nah, you never.
They're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, alright, so let's rewind time a little bit, and let's, talk about the Super Bowl. Not the Super Bowl, the Eagles versus Chiefs, right?
Yeah.
So all right. So listen, the game is tied, right? The game is tied with a minute and 54 remaining, right? The Chiefs were facing a 3rd and 8 from the Philly 15. Mahomes lied the pass to Juju Smith-Schuster, and then a flag was thrown due to James Bradbury holding. Now, in a situation like that, because I remember I watched the game, but I remember everybody was pretty much saying a game that crucial, a game that close to just let the players play. What is your take on that? Do you think just at that point just let the players play, or nah, call that shit? Even though you are a huge Eagles fan.
I Do you remember I was a soccer referee?
Yeah, yeah, I do remember that.
I
Didn't
had fa-
someone say fuck you?
Oh, dude, I've had parents threaten to break my legs and stuff. And I
Crazy.
just I just fucking laugh and say
Yeah.
to them like, "Come at me." I've got I've thrown out like 10 parents, but I was gonna say in
Oh
soccer,
shit, you
so
even threw out parents.
yeah, they would get fined like $1,500, and like everyone would have to
Really?
chip in. So like
That's
yeah,
crazy.
parents, if I've ref their games before, they would
Yeah.
be quiet after the next time I throw them out.
Crazy.
But so in soccer, there's the penalty box, and if you commit a foul inside the penalty box, then
Yeah.
someone can take a penalty kick. And any type of physical foul, that's what it is. So a lot of referees, what they'll do is they want to make sure, like for certain, it's a foul before they'll call
Yeah.
it. The ticky tack stuff they won't. So in the same way that I agree with that sentiment, something that's a ticky tack foul, like James Bradbury holding call there, I don't think should have been called. I think you don't want referees to dictate the game unless it's obvious.
Yeah. Gotcha. So in this case, let the players play.
Yeah, that was the right thing. I know I'm an Eagles fan, but like most people agreed that that was like very soft, and
Gotcha.
the timing of it is just very anticlimactic.
Right. But then if the roles were switched, now,
How would I feel?
yeah.
So since I was a referee, I tend to be a little bit of like a referee sympathizer. Are you saying like the Eagles had the lead
Yeah.
and like it
Well, it
would
was
have
tied. It was the same situation, but in this case,
the
it was the
Eagles?
Eagle. Yeah. Same situation, just switch roles.
Yeah, I would have been honest. I would have been like, I seriously would have been like, they shouldn't have thrown a flag there. I say that during Eagles games actually. I'm like, I can't believe they fucking threw a flag there and it was in our
Yeah.
favor. Uh yeah, no one wants to win like that. Like the other thing is I don't people who root for injury are weirdos. Like I want to see my team beat like the Cowboys at full strength. I don't want to see us playing against, the backup for Dak, like
Yeah.
because then there's no excuses. So yeah, in the same way with like referees, like I don't want the game decided on some bullshit and then they can, make this argument for years like, oh, it's, you got lucky because the refs called some BS foul. Like, yeah, I'm
Right.
with you on that one.
Gotcha. Since we're on the Chiefs topic, right? So do you think so? Tom Brady and Joe Burrow was the only two quarterbacks to end Patrick Mahomes' season. So
Yeah.
do you think Patrick Mahomes have a chance to three-peat this upcoming year?
I mean, yeah, the thing I love about the NFL is outside of the QB position,
Yeah,
anyone can turn around instantly. So one year, you could be a 4-13 team, and then the
yeah,
next year you could win 11, 12 games and make it far in the playoffs.
right.
Detroit Lions had a really good year this
Yeah,
year.
they had a really good run.
Yeah. So, but QB is the one staying power, and the Chiefs have the best one.
Yeah, it's
So,
crazy how
like,
they lost Tyreek Hill and that like previous year, and then 2 years passed by. Yeah, Super Bowl champs, like fucking crazy.
yeah, especially where the Chiefs were earlier this year. They were
Oh yeah,
terrible at wide
yeah,
receiver. Like they were single-handedly losing them game after game.
yeah,
The Eagles game, Marquez Valdez-Scantling dropped like a 60-yard touchdown. That's the only reason we won. You know, like so.
yeah. I think a lot of people wrote them off as well because they were just like at the receiver position. They were just not. They weren't it.
Yeah, Rasheed Rice, who recently got in that car crash and has either 10
Yeah,
grams or 10 ounces of weed. No one
yeah,
knows
fucking
which
crazy.
one. One is a misdemeanor, and the other one he's going to fucking
Didn't he
jail.
leave the scene?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, anyways, he got way better the second half of the year. And I think Travis Kelsey was hurt for most
yeah,
of the season. Like, if you remember, he got hurt really early on. I think it was week one. And he did not play the same up until the Super Bowl, actually, when he had that one catch where he went down the side, when he caught that crosser and went
yeah.
down the sideline and got pushed out of bounds. That was his fastest run by miles per hour in like years. So like
Really?
I think it really illustrated that um Rasheed Rice and Travis Kelsey were both like 100%, and that's why the Chiefs offense looked way better at the very end of the year in the playoffs.
Yeah. He almost had what was it, or I think this would have been 9 consecutive years with 1,000 yards plus. I think it was like 4 yards or something like that shy. He was only like a few yards shy of 1,000 yards.
Yeah. How do you feel? All right, I'm asking the questions now. How do you feel about him dating Taylor Swift?
I I knew you were gonna ask that question. I don't mind it at all. As far as the Super Bowl, I mean, if we bring it back there, I feel like they had to win that game. I feel like it was all eyes on them. You know, Kelsey dating Taylor Swift. I feel like they just had to win. And then like my take on it is, I think it's pretty cool. I don't mind it at all. You
Yeah.
know, I understand like a lot of people were pissed off because it's like if the Chiefs are playing, it just like automatically goes to like Taylor Swift that they wind up like winning a game or not winning. I'm sorry. If they score like a touchdown or something and then she's like celebrating, it's like automatically Taylor Swift and everybody's like, I'm not here to see Taylor. I'm here to watch the game. But at the end of the day, it doesn't bother me.
Someone pointed out in like the AFC Championship game. So the game ran for like 3 hours and 15 minutes. She had 32 seconds of airtime. Like, it's not much.
No, it's not at all. It's really not.
Yeah.
I think it's a little more glorified in like the NFL where if it's a celebrity like her, it's a bit different because I was gonna compare it to like the NBA because you see a bunch of celebrities at the NBA. Um, so I was gonna like compare it to that, but I don't know. I'm like a celebrity like her, she's a superstar. It's
She's the
Taylor
biggest
Swift.
musician on the planet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
For
How do you
now,
feel about it?
until Sleep Token passes them. Passes her.
Sleep token, yeah. Aren't you seeing them? What?
May,
In June, right?
May 23rd
Okay.
in New York at
Nice,
Radio City Music Hall.
nice.
I got
That should
I
be
got really
crazy.
lucky. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you telling me they sell out quick, don't they?
Yeah, the waiting room had like 20,000 people in it. I just managed to get
Wow,
through.
that's crazy. That's crazy. Were the tickets pricey?
$200.
Yeah. Good. I guess you got good seating or good. Are you like in the pit or like are you on the
I'm pretty up
floor?
close. I'm pretty
Okay.
up close.
Okay. Gotcha.
Um, yeah, I crack up at, so I think the average seat price was $200 and it was
Yeah.
6,000 seats.
Yeah.
So I think that's $1.2 million.
Jesus Christ.
Just a year and a half ago,
I
Connor
remember.
wanted them to open for them at like a 500 person venue. Now they're doing like 20,000 seats, sold out stadiums a year and a half later.
That's fucking crazy. That's
Yeah.
fucking crazy. That's so crazy. Yeah, their recent album was actually very good. I actually never went because they do have a few other projects before that one, don't they? The one that they recently just last year they just dropped.
Yeah, their first album is called Sundowning. They released that in 2018, and then This Place Will Become Your Tomb was like late 2021, I think. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. And how you feel about those? Did you like them, or was this like
Oh,
the
amazing.
album? Okay, okay. I was gonna say maybe you didn't like them as much, and then this was the album like they dropped recently where you're like, yeah, this is definitely it.
No, I was completely obsessed with them before this
Okay.
album. And then this one just bolted them to where they belong.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So Breaking Benjamin was you loved Breaking Benjamin at one point, right?
They were my favorite probably in my high school yearbook. The song I picked for like everyone picked their song. Mine was
Yeah.
Diary of Jane.
Yeah. So do you like I'm assuming you like Sleep Token more than Breaking Benjamin?
So my favorite bands all time. Ready?
Yeah.
There's Sleep Token up here, and then everyone else.
Fuck.
But yeah, I don't know who would be my next favorites. I would say Breaking Benjamin has to be in the top five. They just got so many fucking hits, so
Yeah.
many, and they
Yeah.
remind you of like your childhood
Yeah. Yeah, you
and
always
teenage years and just growing up.
bro, I still fucking listen to Breaking Benjamin. I still listen to Breaking Benjamin when I'm down here lifting. I still listen to them all the time, man, all the time.
Yeah, yeah,
And
they're
if it wasn't
awesome.
for you, I wouldn't be listening to them probably.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I would be.
Them and Avenged Sevenfold. Well, it was really Madden that got us into this.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. When I
they
did like
introduced us to
my
some really good rock music.
yeah, when I did like my Avenged Sevenfold like discography, yeah. I brought it back to Madden. Madden is what did it for me. Like hearing them on Madden and it was just like, yeah, fuck. And then I remember you actually, you know, had me listen to Beast and the Harlot and I'm just like, yeah, yeah, this is definitely it. I love Avenged Sevenfold.
When I moved here in fifth grade, um, and the teachers are talking to you like introduce yourself, like, oh, what kind of music do you like? I remember saying I don't really like music. And I remember telling this to my mom. She's like, "What do you mean you don't like music?" I'm like, "I don't know. I just don't because my mom's listening to like fucking country."
Yeah.
And then one day with a little MP3 player, Diarrhea Jane by
You
Breaking
thought that was
Benjamin
like
comes on.
so you probably thought country was like the only like
Yeah, I
thing
do.
genre ever.
I didn't know any rock, none.
Yeah.
And then that little MP3 player I had, I was listening to it, and Diary of Jane by Breaking Benjamin comes on, and I'm like, yo, I like music. It's this.
Yeah, dude. Diarrhea Jane is a hit. It's definitely a classic song for sure.
Yeah.
But we should get into that later too. Hang on. I got a quick question. So I posted a poll, I don't know, maybe a month ago asking who was responsible for the Patriots dynasty. And you said Tom Brady. A lot of people
It
said Bill
is.
Belichick. And then of course, like a lot of people were like, it was a perfect marriage. So you
Yeah.
picked Tom Brady. So why did you pick Tom Brady as far as him being more responsible for the Patriots dynasty?
I mean, so my thing with Tom Brady is that he's not flashy, so he doesn't get as much credit as he probably actually deserves. But I
Yeah.
mean, the year he had Moss, Wes Welker. Was Rob Gronkowski there yet, or was that right
No, he
before?
wasn't there yet. He came in Rob came in 2010,
So he
I
really
believe.
had, what was it? Randy Moss, Wes Welker.
Wes
I think he had
Welker.
another pretty good receiver. I
Dion
can't
Branch,
remember.
I think. I think Dion Branch wound up going back
Branch
one of the
Branch
years.
was he the NFL MVP or the Super Bowl MVP versus the Eagles? I think he was.
Yeah.
So this was a little bit of time after. You know what? It was that 2007. Is
Yeah.
that the year that they went 18-0 or
Yeah.
18-1?
Yeah.
Uh, so okay, so yeah, Robert Gronkowski was like 2010 or
Yeah.
2011. Um,
Because I believe I believe Moss was there when Gronkowski got there, but also this was the same year they traded Moss away and Moss wound up playing for like four other fucking teams. It was like the 49ers, the Tennessee Titans, and I feel like I'm missing and he went back to the Vikings. The Patriots traded him away to go to the Vikings. That's what it was. And then he was playing for the Vikings for a little bit. Then he went to the Tennessee Titans. And I
yeah,
think
yeah.
like took like a year off and then went to the Niners like the following year or something.
You're talking about Moss, right? Your sound cut out for like 20 seconds for me, your feed.
Jesus
It,
Christ.
it's okay. I think I know what you're saying though. But I was going to make the point that you gave Tom Brady, a Hall of Fame wide receiver, and he threw for 50 touchdowns. What was it, like 6 picks? They were like
Something
the
like
most
that.
efficient offense. They were just
Yeah.
blowing everybody out. Um, he wins in ways of just being like this, like always knowing the right move. Like
Yeah.
I say that Pat Mahomes, everyone's going to end up saying is like the better QB because he has the stronger arm, the flashier plays. But in terms of just moving the ball down the field and like scoring, Tom Brady was as good as it ever was.
Yeah.
You know, like and I mean, even if you watch, him with Tampa Bay when he's in his mid 40s, I mean, he's throwing the ball all over the damn place, like not missing
Right.
like all over the field. But with New England, it was a little bit more. There was more checkdowns or whatever. But who cares? Like your goal is to win, and he
Yeah.
was the best at doing it. Bill Belichick and the Patriots would put up top five defenses a lot of the time, and they definitely were really important. But again, just like the continuity at QB trumps anything else in all professional sports. So I would say Tom Brady deserves probably like I would give him like 75% of the credit and maybe like Bill Belichick like 20, 25%.
Fucking Bill. Still don't have a job yet.
Yeah,
Fucking
I
Bill.
was kind of cool. So the NFL does these like private polls with the players, and they vote
Yeah.
on different things like how good is your coaching staff? What's the food like? How's it like traveling? What's your owner like, your head coach? And so the private poll that they did for the Eagles players, they gave Nick Sirianni one of the highest grades for all the head coaches in the past year. That's why, to me, Nick Sirianni is still the Eagles head coach. Because I was with you, I would have hired Belichick.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because wasn't there talk around saying Serrani could be out of a job?
Yeah, because the way the Eagles season ended last year was
Yeah,
a
it was
complete
horrible.
disaster.
Yeah.
And he's an offensive head coach, and they had no answers on offense. They were running a wide receiver screenplay on like 10% of their plays. Like that's like you give, I don't know, someone who doesn't play football, like or Madden, the controller, and they just keep picking the fucking wide receiver screenplay. Like it was disgusting what we were doing. Like our offensive coordinator and Nick Sirianni are terrorists. Like what they
You think Bill Belichick would have fit in Philly? Do you do you really think that?
Oh man, Philly would have loved him because
Really?
one, he's only like 16 wins away from the most wins all time.
Right.
Philly being able to have like some level of like we can say that we did that, they would love. But
He ended it.
Belichick's
Yeah.
also he's
He ended
also
it
this
here.
yeah. And Belichick is this very no nonsense coach. He's like I mean, it would be perfect. The interviews would be horrible after the game, but the on the field and knowing that your defense is gonna like actually try versus Matt
Yeah.
Patricia, like yes, like we would have all taken that.
Oh man. Now my next question is like the QB position, like it's definitely like evolving, right? So do you like as far as I feel as if today's so our generation of QBs, I feel like scrambling was rare. Like we
Uh,
had can you hear me?
You cut out a little bit, but I think we're
Jesus.
good.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
You can hear me? I'm good?
yeah.
Okay. All right, so my next question is the quarterback position is evolving, in my opinion. As far as back in our generation, we didn't really have QBs that can scramble. I mean, we had Mike Vick, McNabb, Steve McNair probably, and then I don't know, you could maybe add another one or two, people to that list that were actually like scramblers, right? So
Yeah.
but now we have it's. I feel as if the like it shifted to where nowadays like QBs, it's like you want to have a QB that can scramble, that's
Yeah,
athletic enough to
absolutely.
do that.
Yeah.
So do you think someone like I don't know, a Peyton Manning or even now like Tom Brady or someone like a Drew Brees can like survive in the NFL today, like play in the NFL today and put up good
Yeah,
numbers?
they would be really good. So, the thing that has really switched in the NFL is so when we were playing Madden, we would always like to play two high safety. You had
Yeah.
one over top because you can't let 99 speed Randy Moss get by you,
Yeah, of
right?
course.
If you played someone who didn't know how to play and they had single high safety, it meant your corner was one on one with the receiver. And if you had a guy with like 99 speed, or think about like Tyreek Hill with the Chiefs, it's over. It's over.
Yeah.
They already won as soon as the
Yeah.
play started. So one of the big shifts in the NFL is it's much more of like a spread offense, but it's much more two high safety. It used to be single high. And so the way that you kind of counter against that is you have a better running game. You have a QB that can scramble and run read option. So if they're going to take a safety and move him out of the box and move him over top to prevent like big plays from happening, the way that you counter that is by having a better run game or having a better short passing game. So I would say a QB who can't scramble and create plays on his own or can't really run the ball would be more limited in that aspect. But the thing is with like Peyton Manning was that like Brady, he's a genius.
Yeah.
Brady was a great example of like he couldn't scramble worth a damn, but he was basically NFL MVP 2 years ago. So like it can work. If you are
Yeah.
a mastermind and you're very accurate, you can still win that way. But, Mahomes has really proven that, being able to scramble and extend plays is like has such a huge advantage in terms of creating big plays and like making more positive plays.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I figured that because I always think to myself, I'm like, even like the level of difficulty, for some reason, I feel as if back then the level of difficulty as far as getting through a team with a great quarterback, I felt like it was more difficult back then than now. But I can be completely wrong. That's just the way I feel. I don't know.
Wait, repeat that again. What was the question exactly?
So it wasn't really a question, but I just, in my opinion, I just felt like the level of difficulty of quarterbacks back then, like in our generation, I guess you can say, compared to the quarterbacks now, I felt like I wouldn't say they were more skilled or more like athletic or whatever. I just feel like it was more. I just feel like the quarterbacks back then were just better than the quarterbacks today, as far as like level of difficulty. If you had to like play against this team with a great quarterback.
Uh, I would say like what a QB is asked to do in a passing offense has changed a little bit. Like
Hmm.
a lot of QBs are not under center anymore. They're not like I formation or single back. It's like mostly primarily shotgun spread offense, shorter throws because of that too high safety. You want to try and take advantage of like the middle of the field or things more underneath. Back when Peyton was playing, a lot of it was like under center play action, 7-step drops, throwing the ball like intermediate levels of the field, like in that like 10 to 20 yard range. So maybe from like an arm talent and accuracy standpoint, maybe the throws were slightly more difficult. But in terms of like trying to create plays and being accurate, I would still say it's very similar.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I just felt a little different about
You
it.
will notice like in the NFL today, you don't see like as many go balls. Like when you watch Randy Moss highlights, it's like bomb after bomb after bomb. Like
Bro, I
there's a
fucking
lot of
love it.
dude,
I
there's a
love
lot of
it.
NFL games that you'll notice that that's not a thing.
Yeah.
Like Patrick Mahomes stats. So one of the reasons why are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, so Patrick Mahomes, the last year they had Tyreek Hill, when the defenses ran single high safety, Pat Mahomes' quarterback rating was like 115. Like that's like normal Patrick Mahomes killing it every game. But when they ran two high safety, it dropped all the way down to like 90, which is like okay QB level, like not special winning the Super Bowl level. And that's why. And you'll notice that, like, in that season, if you go back and look, Tyreek Hill did not have a whole lot of like 70-yard TDs. He had a ton of targets, a ton of catches, but
Right.
defenses were scared to death of Tyreek Hill just beating the hell out of them. And so they pivoted and decided, all right, if this is how teams are going to play us, we'll spend a little bit more draft capital and on defense and let Mahomes win by just like making the right decision, accurate throws that are easier to make.
Gotcha. Gotcha. All right, so I want to shift the conversation over to fitness because I know you're a big fitness freak. You've been a big fitness freak for what, 10 years now?
Probably, I started lifting at like 18, so I'm old. So 14 years.
Yeah, we're both old. Fucking
Yeah,
crazy.
I
Yeah,
look young now. I look like I'm in my 20s, mid
you ever gonna
20s.
just grow out the beard? Like just
Uh,
grow it out? Or can you grow it out?
I can now. I up until like 29, I couldn't at all. You
Are
know,
you just gonna when are you just gonna grow it out? Just say fuck it and just let it
that
grow.
ain't that ain't me.
Why?
I just I don't know. I think I have like a young look. I think a little bit of facial hair is fine, but
Yeah.
like a full on beard would look like it would look fake on me.
You might as well. Like, what's the longest you've ever had it? Like, just a little more than what you have now?
No, I've gone like 5 weeks before without shaving,
Oh,
so
really?
it was definitely there, like a lot, but not like
Yeah.
anything too crazy.
Dude, you should just do it.
I don't really think it's for me.
But yeah, so you've been in the into fitness for the past like 13, we'll just say about 13 years. So I want to get your take because I did I remember, or just last week, I did a show with Ben Klein, and we were just talking about like the fitness industry, where it is now to where it was when we first started. And I kind of want to take I kind of want to have your take on it because I understand, like I said, you've been in it for about 13 years. You got me into it. So I feel like you're the perfect person to ask this question. And it is, what do you think about the fitness industry now to where it was when you first started, as far as like influencers or getting the correct information? Because I understand even back then there was a lot of bullshit information going on, I would say. But even now, I feel as if it's gotten worse. Now, I
Yeah,
could be wrong, but this is just what I see.
I'm gonna get to that point in a sec. But do you remember like Andrew Yeager and Luke Kish sharing this like audio tape called "Your Wish Is Your Command" by Kevin Trudeau? You remember
I,
listening to
I
that?
probably I probably have.
So he's like acting like he's at like this super rich place. It sounds all bullshit. But anyways, the lessons he had I thought were phenomenal. Like rule number one of like being successful was, who do you listen to? That was the
Yeah,
most important thing. Um, and it makes a lot of sense. And like part of it was like, can you trust, billionaires or millionaires if you read their books? And he makes the argument that there's a lot of ghostwriters who write those books. It's not really their thoughts.
right,
But the same thing with the fitness industry is what I'm about to say, is that if you end up listening to the wrong person, you're gonna get all fucked up. You're gonna
right.
hear some crazy stuff. The amount of like super weird nutritional takes I see online has like gotten absolutely out of control. Like people think seed oils are like the devil. They think soy is gonna make you like grow female breasts and like you're gonna turn into like this weakling. It is absolutely absurd. So the amount of misinformation is definitely climbing. Like it's becoming more and more. However, if you come across like someone who really does know what they're talking about, there is so many phenomenal people that are still great.
Yeah,
So, however, the challenge is I have a lot of knowledge on this stuff. I can really quickly spot who's a bullshitter and who's real.
right.
But someone who's just a normal person, man, they are getting fucked up. There's like
Yeah.
there's like 20 people that I follow that follow Liver King. Guys eating
And
like,
they still think he's natural, right?
dude, I'm not gonna drop the name, but someone who
Yeah.
is in good fitness shape was like arguing with me that Liver King was natural. And I'm just like, I can't believe this. Like, I can't believe that you think this. I'm like, he cracks me up because he really has grown men out here eating bull testicles,
Yeah.
like raw fucking animal balls. Like,
Yeah.
and they think that's his secret when in reality he was using, he now what was found out at minimum $12,000 worth
Yeah.
of like
It
steroids
was
and
all
HGH per
over.
month.
Yeah, it was all over the place. Yeah.
Yeah. So to answer your question, misinformation is definitely at an all-time high. There are some psychopaths out there saying some of the weirdest stuff imaginable, but there are still like great people who are honest, who give you the real information, who aren't like trying to sell you some nonsense. So there is a lot of great stuff out there, but how can someone figure it out? I don't know. If you're just a normal dude, you're getting fucked up.
Yeah. Cause
And
I
actually,
yeah.
one other
Go ahead.
thing is the what rewards you on social media if you're trying to build a following. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm here.
Okay, okay. Uh, Sometimes the video cuts out on your end, and I just want to make sure
Uh,
you can hear me
it's
and
like,
everything's
yeah, I
good.
don't know what the fuck is wrong with it. Usually it's like never this bad. I don't know.
Did you see they Congress passed a bill to like basically ban TikTok, or they have to sell it to like a
Yeah, yeah. Like that was recently, wasn't it?
yeah. And
Yeah.
one of the reasons why is they claim that like the algorithm that is given to people in the United States is like damaging and harmful. But in my experience of using TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, is that the algorithms are simply a reflection of what it is that you want to pay attention to, and or what what makes the news, what gets people interested, what gets people talking is really
Right.
kind of how it works. So what I'm about to say is like fitness influencers are gaming the algorithm. They say ridiculous things on purpose to get attention, and that's what
Uh,
draws attention. So if you see accounts get really big, they might be just like rage baiting, and that's what's bringing them all this
gotcha.
attention. And it's really unfortunate because what it is it's rewarding ridiculousness. It's not rewarding honesty. You know,
Yeah.
if I get on and tell someone, "Hey, look, you got to lift 3 to 4 times a week. You should hit 10 working sets per body part. Eat healthy." I am not going viral.
They don't want to
Except
hear that
that's the
shit.
except that is the answer. That is the correct
Yeah.
fucking answer. But the dude who's eating fucking bull testicles and, you know, has 20-inch arms, oh shit, people start paying attention to that. So I get
It's
cycled out,
ridiculous.
or someone who's good and honest and nice gets fucking cycled out, and that fucking psychopath gets cycled in.
I remember because you know how on Snapchat, right below Snapchat, it'll have a bunch of, um, how would I say it? It'll be like news or it'll be like someone else's account or whatever. So I remember like on Snapchat, well, first of all, I remember Liver King doing a I don't know, like a 10-minute video basically saying like he's sorry for what he did. He was on and now he's like off. And for some odd reason, when he said that he was off, he started counting down the days of him being natural. And then after that, like you could see the change, but he was looking better than he's like ever looked before. He was more ripped, more cut, bigger. I'm like, how are you off, but yet you're looking better now than you did, months ago. Yeah,
The,
I don't
the
know. It didn't make any sense to me.
the gaslighting with him is out of control.
Yeah,
Like, so there's a lot of like very obvious telltale signs whether someone's using steroids. First thing that becomes really obvious are these things called varicose veins. They become thicker and more dense, and they start popping up in places that they don't normally pop up. If you see someone with like really like thick veins in like their obliques or abdominals or lats, that's usually a really good sign that they're not natural. Or they'll have like paper thin skin, or their skin will
yeah,
get more red, or they'll have really well muscle development at places that have higher levels of androgen receptors, which tend to be like your traps and your shoulders. He had every single one of these signs on top of his fat free mass index score being like well beyond the natural limit. So when he's making his videos like making fun of people who think that he's not natural and that you're just pussies and you need to work harder, I just thought
yeah.
like this is the biggest like fucking scumbag in all the fitness industry. Like
Worse
he
than
is
Michael
lying to
Hearn.
people. Oh, dude, what a fucking liar he is too. He cracks me up. He's like
Did
a
he block
true
you?
narcissist. Oh, I tagged a couple of my friends in one of his videos where it just said natural, and I just said LOL, and I was blocked.
I
Oh, dude.
remember you telling me that story.
So the funny thing with him is he was really popular before the internet, so most people couldn't figure out whether or not he was natural or not. No
Yeah,
one knew enough. But
yeah,
now, if you really are paying attention, it's so easy to find the right answers if you
yeah.
really know how to look. So everyone knows he's lying, but he's just so dug in, he just can't admit it.
Crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
at that point, yeah. I remember like people would ask if he's like natty or not, and he would never give you a direct answer. It'll never be a yes or a no answer. It's always like this crazy, well, I'm 40 something years old and I eat this and I'm at the gym at 5 a.m. and it's just like, yo, it's just, are you natty or not? Yes or no? He always
So
finds ways to just maneuver through the question and never answer the question.
the I had someone who is a very famous bodybuilder I was talking to, and I love the way that he does his social media. He just doesn't talk about it. Like he admits he's like, yeah, I am not natural, and most people already know that. But
Yeah,
it's not worth getting into the discussion, about all of it. And there's other
right.
people who are open and honest about it, which is really great. And the thing is, like, everyone already knows. Like, Mike O'Hearn would be much more respected if he would just come out and admit it.
Oh yeah. It
And
might
then
be a
on
little
top
too
of
late
that,
now, in my opinion, because
and the
like
thing
at this
is,
point, go ahead.
that's he doesn't. Yeah, he's too concerned about having to pivot and everyone knows that he's a liar. But
Right.
the reality is, like, it doesn't take away from how amazing his accomplishments are. He
Yeah.
looks insane. He
Oh
looks
yeah.
awesome. He's super strong. He is like a real life superhero in many
Yeah.
ways. So he would still get that same respect. He would get way more respect
If he
actually if
just
he
came
would.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in my opinion, I kind of feel like it's a little too. It's not too late, but I feel like you should have came out a long time ago if that was the case.
Yeah.
Because now it's just like he's just dragging it on, and it's just you should have just came out. But it is what it is.
Yeah, I think he will die with that still being his like thing. He won't admit even on his deathbed.
Yeah, fucking nuts. So
Yeah.
you're a vegan. How long have you been a vegan for?
8 years and 4 months.
Gotcha. 8 years and 4 months. Crazy. And so the vegan lifestyle. So when was it when you were like, yo, I'm gonna become vegan. This is it. Like, fuck meat. I'm vegan. When was that time, that point in time where you were just like full fledged, like I'm vegan?
Yeah, I was lifting down here and two of my friends went vegetarian back in like 20 2014, and they made a really convincing argument to me that we didn't need animals to survive, and that what we do to them is horrible. And I remember thinking to myself then, like, I completely agree. You're right that we shouldn't eat animals. But I also remember saying, like, well, I don't know if it's possible for me to like live and be healthy because I don't know anyone who is vegan that's
Yeah.
like strong and in good shape and is healthy. Like, I just didn't
Mhm.
know. And so forgot about it for like a couple of years. And it always kind of stuck with me that I was eating animals and was like, well, maybe I just am grateful, for, they had to die for me. And I will be grateful for that. I'll keep that in mind. And then I came across a TED talk of like what animals are thinking and feeling, and that was a really amazing talk. It was like crayfish, for example, are so similar brain wise to humans that if you give them the same exact anxiety medication that you would give a human, their anxiety goes away. It's the
Mm.
same for dogs, same for all animals. The same exact anxiety medication that helps humans become less anxious affects all other animals. And he's making this point that they live these like um, lives that they experience pain, happiness, sadness. They have friends. They have family. Elephants, if if they're in the wild and someone plays through a speaker sound that sounds like tourist human beings, the elephants are fine. But if you put sounds that sound like hunters, they run away. So
Mm.
making the point that elephants have the ability to differentiate which humans are friendly and which humans are dangerous. Like they're clearly very mentally capable in the same way that humans are mentally capable. I
Right.
remember listening to that and thinking like there's really very little difference between a human and an animal in terms of what they're able to think and feel. And then I came across a video by a guy named Vegan Gains. And it was a video about people who are vegan bodybuilders. And they were talking about how horrible, the animal industry is and how animals have to suffer and die for humans and how they've been vegan for like years without any issues and they're strong and healthy and in shape. And so those experiences all together with knowing that it was possible for me, I was like, all
It
right,
sealed the deal.
I have to do this. And
Right.
I did. I literally stopped eating meat the moment I watched that video. Went to the store, bought all new stuff, all the
This
stuff that I
very
had
same
just all
day,
went,
like you just the
yeah,
very same
literally
day.
stopped that moment. I was like, yeah, I need to do this and haven't had any meat since.
Crazy. So when you went
Yeah.
shopping, did you have to kind of look at a guide of things to get?
How did I know? Like what to
Yeah.
look for?
Yeah.
Um, Well, really, it was like these people have done it. I don't give a fuck what options there are. I'm gonna figure it out. So I had
Gotcha.
no clue. I had no clue what type of vegan meats there were.
Yeah.
I had no clue that there was vegan protein powder. I knew basically nothing. But very fortunately, going to like Giant, they had a ton of stuff, and that there's a bunch of vegan protein. Excuse me, there was a bunch of like vegan protein powders. So there was vegan milks. There was, dude, it's so easy. It's ridiculous. Like,
Now, Now, your first time actually like eating vegan food, did you feel as if it was nasty? Were you just like, yo, this shit tastes horrible, but you just
Not at
eventually
all.
got used to it? Okay, okay.
No, a lot of the vegan stuff is really good. Like I'll have friends and family that eat it with me every once in a while, like vegan chicken, and they're amazed every single time. They're like, "Yo, this is good. Like, this is pretty. Like, I would eat this." I'm like, "Yeah, man, it's not that hard. The macros are like the exact same. Like, it's not difficult. It's definitely pretty difficult to eat out. There's not a
Yeah,
lot of places that have a whole ton of vegan options, but as far as like eating at home for yourself, oh man, there's like people go, "Oh, I don't want to give up cheese." Motherfucker, I don't give up cheese. I have like fucking shredded cheese that I can like fucking heat up and have on a quesadilla. I have like sliced cheese and I put on a sandwich. We have American cheese, cheddar cheese, provolone cheese. There's literally all these vegan cheeses. And they taste I'm not kidding. They
yeah.
taste better because I don't know. They just don't have like fucking lactose in it. You're not like fucking like choking up and shit. And it's just like cheese without the shitty parts.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah,
It's
because
pretty
I was gonna
amazing.
ask.
Like
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, oh, he's a vegan. He's just saying this. No, like actually try this stuff.
I mean, if you've been a vegan for 8 years and you actually enjoy this, I mean, it has to taste somewhat good.
Yeah,
Because I'm
I
sure
mean,
you
they're
wouldn't eat shit for 8 years and however many months.
honestly, if what I know about like what animals go through and how similar they are to humans, I would eat stuff that tasted like shit if it meant I didn't have to.
Okay.
But fortunately, I don't have to. It's all pretty good.
Yeah, because I was gonna ask you, like, was your first week hard? Like, once you made that switch, but according to what you're saying, it was kind of just like, yeah, fuck it, I'm done eating meat. I'm just gonna go full fledged with this vegan stuff, and that's it.
Yeah, honestly, so I'm a big fan of if it fits your macros. I was
Yeah,
just like, all I have to do is meet my macros, no problem. I didn't lose a pound. My strength didn't tail off at all. The transition was so simple.
yeah,
It was just like, all right, instead of buying chicken like I was, I'm gonna buy vegan chicken. Instead of buying like beef and steak, I'm gonna buy vegan beef and steak. Instead of buying regular milk, I'm gonna buy a vegan milk, and instead of regular protein powder, I'm gonna buy a vegan powder. That was it. Like it was just swapping those out.
gotcha. Yeah, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I think I said this in the Dad Bod podcast too. I don't think I'll ever switch. I don't know. I don't know. I definitely have to like try some vegan stuff because I mean, you never know. I've never tried any. I don't think I've ever tried anything. Well, as far as like meats and stuff like that, I don't think I've ever tried anything vegan. As far as that,
Yeah, so the other thing I say is even if you're not vegan, it doesn't mean you can't have them, can't try them.
yeah, yeah,
And I think the experience most people have when they try something that's like a vegan meat is they're shocked at how close it is and how even the texture and everything is like incredibly similar. Um, so yeah, you should try some.
probably will. You just have to send me like some recommendations. I'll try it. You want to know what? Yeah, I'll definitely try it. If you just send me some recommendations on like because I don't know what to look for. So if you was to send me, yo, get this, I'll try it. I'll do it. I'll try it, and then I'll let you know my honest opinion on it.
Impossible Burger.
From what, Burger King?
You could
I
try
think
the
they had an
Impossible
Impossible
Whopper,
Burger. Yeah.
but they sell Impossible Burgers at like the grocery store.
Oh, they do. Gotcha. Okay. Okay. Did I cut off? Did I cut out? I must have. Did I cut out?
Hold on, your sound cut out for like
Did
10
I?
seconds. What did you say?
Yeah, yo, I don't know what's wrong with this. Every time, I don't know why I'm cutting out so much. Just never happens. But
It might be my Wi-Fi.
because I can over here on this side, I can hear everything you're saying. So if you're just like, I could see you, I could everything. Like I don't know. So
It's it's probably my Wi-Fi, honestly.
Okay, yeah, I don't know.
You know, we got that Amish net over here.
Yeah, in the middle of bumblefuck.
Yeah.
Damn, bro. But we're gonna end it there. Like I said, I'll definitely try some vegan stuff. If you just send me the recommendation, I'll definitely give it a try.
Okay.
And we're gonna wrap it up there. But before we do wrap it up, I have one question, a question that I've been wanting to know, and we're on record here. So this is getting put out to like the YouTube universe. So it's not just a text, it's not just me in your basement asking you this question. And I
I
just
already
want
know
to
the
know,
question.
huh?
Moss or To?
I want to know right now, who are you picking right this minute? You have to draft one of these players. Who are you picking? Moss or T.O.?
I get them for their whole career.
And you get, yeah, yeah.
Oh God.
And this
Uh.
is getting put out there. So, uh,
Oh, you know what? I. It's gonna be Moss
okay.
because Tio's more of a dickhead. That's the tiebreaker. Like,
I thought you would
Dude,
say Moss is more of a dickhead because he plays when
T-
he wants to play.
Tio basically called like Jeff Garcia a gay rat. You ever seen Jeff Garcia's wife? Like, she was a
Yeah, isn't
Playboy
she
model.
smoking?
She was a Playboy model. She's
Yeah, yeah,
insanely attractive. Like
yeah.
it's really funny that she's married to him because he's just like a normal, not even like a normal looking dude. He's not a very good looking dude, but she's, and like he's
He's
the one
not.
that gets called like gay. Shocking.
Yeah,
Anyways, and then McNabb, I ain't the one that got tired in the Super Bowl. Don't really blame Tio for that one.
yeah.
But then he was crying like, "Oh, this is my quarterback with Tony Romo." But anyways, a lot of drama with him. Randy Moss, he might just shake his dick, you know.
Moon the crowd too.
Yeah, after mooning, he's like, "Yeah, maybe next time I'll shake my dick." So I'll take Moss,
You heard
honestly.
what D'Angelo Hall said about Randy Moss. He's the real deal. Randy Moss is the real deal. For all you TO fans out there, Moss is the real deal.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with either, just if you're talking about on the field.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, what Moss could do is just unfair. Actually, you're saying about today's NFL. If I'm just talking about
You'll
on
take
field,
go ahead. Tyreek Hill.
oh, like today, like
No,
who's
no,
my
no,
favorite
no, no.
receiver?
Okay, wait, hang on, hang on. Hold on. What were you saying? Go ahead.
I was
I
just
cut
gonna
you off. My fault.
say, that switching to like this too high look is like the normal base defense. It
Yeah.
actually would probably go a long way towards doing whatever they could to take Moss out of the game, throwing go balls. So I think To maybe
Yo,
would put up better numbers in today's NFL. But
gotcha.
um, if I had both of them to choose from back in the day, I would say Moss. But To might put up better numbers now.
Gotcha. So would Calvin fit in that Megatron? Would he fit in that TO bucket?
I think he's the most talented receiver ever.
Hmm.
I think he would dominate today still. Moss would
Okay.
dominate today, no doubt. Like
Yeah,
there's no
yeah.
doubt about it. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Well, it's on record. So anytime you ever wind up changing your answer, I have it right here, and I'm gonna bring this up every single time. Matt picked Moss over TO.
Yeah.
Exactly what
I
I
don't
want to
re-
hear.
I don't remember me ever saying McNabb over Brady unless it was before the
You
Super Bowl.
did. No, you
Well, then it
did. Back
was
when I remember to this day, back when McNabb actually was on the cover, you said I'd rather pick McNabb because McNabb can scramble.
well, I was an
That's what
idiot.
you said. I remember. You said I'd rather have McNabb because McNabb can scramble.
Well, old me was an idiot then.
But I think you were a little biased because, of course, McNabb was on the Eagles, and yeah, I think he was a little biased. So,
Yeah. God, that's one of the worst takes of my life.
and put this up as a reel. Matt said McNabb over Brady because McNabb can scramble. That's a reel.
Yeah, we don't got any proof of that. In my group chat, I'm known as the screenshot king. If someone said
Yeah,
something bad, I let them
Yeah,
know.
we definitely don't have any proof of that. That was so long ago. That was
Yeah.
04, 05. Fuck.
Yeah.
Or
Yep.
06 or some shit like that. I can't fucking remember. I think
That
05 was Ray Lewis was on the cover because
it was
defense wins championships.
it was the 2004 going into 2005 season, 2004 to '05. Like the Super Bowl was played in '05. That was the
Gotcha.
year we
Yeah.
lost. And
Yeah.
then Madden '06 is like the '05 '06 season. So
Yeah.
that's how that fits. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. And he said McNabb was better, so
I
than
don't recall
Brady.
that.
All right, we're gonna end it here. Once again, Matt, I'm happy you joined. Next time, you might see Matt again. You guys might see Matt again with another special guest, but we're gonna make that work. But until then, if you got this far, let me know who you rather pick, Moss or TL, down in the comment section. This is episode 11. Once again, thank you, Matt McGinley, for joining me, longtime friend, and we are out of here.